I thought so. I was like, it looks really familiar. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna make my head bubble smaller, and it stopped presenting. Present, come on. There we go. All right, we are on. If at any time you have any questions, do not hesitate to just pipe in and interrupt me. Totally fine. I do not mind. But I am going to pop you guys up here so I can come on, so I can see y'all. You're all up here. Fabulous. Okay. Can I just get a thumbs up? You can all still see my screen. Okay. Everything looks good. Beautiful. Alrighties, let's jump straight into it. So, enjoying your holidays and staying on track. So, tips and tricks to stay toned, energized, confident, but also without sacrificing, just chilling out and enjoying yourself, and without skipping out on the fun, but still come home and not feel like total blur and like, ugh, what have I done? That is what we're going to be talking about. So let me set the scene. Oh, not too fast. Let me set the scene. I'm just going to move my head out of the way. So you've worked really hard the last few months. You're feeling strong and toned, and you're seeing the progress, and like you're down kilos, and your waist is smaller, your clothes are fitting better, like you're feeling amazing. And then you've got a trip coming up, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to just relax and enjoy myself. And you think this is going to be amazing. And then you're also like, shit, I don't want to ruin my progress. I don't want to like fall off track. I don't want to just like go back to square one again, all that jazz. Because in the past, that's something that you may have experienced. You may overindulge. You may, what often actually what often happens is you go restrict, 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 restrict. I'm going to diet as hard as I can. I'm going to get as lean as I can before I go on holiday, so I feel confident in my bikini. And you do that in a quick 4 weeks. I've got 4 weeks, and so by the time you get on that holiday, you overindulge, you overdo it because you've starved yourself silly, and then you like go too wild on the other spectrum, and then you come home, you feel bloated, guilty, you feel like you're back at square one. And then the biggest issue that then comes up is you don't just get back on the bandwagon. You just keep letting like the issues roll. And then it's 6, 12 months down the track, and you're like, I still haven't recovered from a trip to Europe. And it's like, what have you been doing for the last 6 to 12 months? That's actually what the big killer is usually. Um, but but it's not uncommon, honestly. I've had conversations with people just like that, and it's like, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I like just haven't got back to it since my holiday," and I'm like, "Yeah, when was it?" They're like, "Oh, in like August." I'm like, "But it's January." And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Let's start now," and you have. So that's the main thing. Um, yeah, exactly. And then you just walk around a lot, so it's exactly. So, like, and exactly that's it. You want to enjoy the pasta, you want to enjoy the gelato, and you want to like, you don't want to track your macros. You want to enjoy your holiday. You don't want to just be at the gym every single day, but you also just hate that feeling afterwards of being like, oh, I feel so sluggish and heavy and all that jazz. So now that you're about a Project Live Strong, you're going to learn how to make a change, and you don't need to track everything. You don't need to avoid every indulgence, and you don't need to fall off track, and you can still feel like confident and amazing when you come home. Or not. You can go crazy and wild if you want. Just don't feel guilty for it, and just accept it, and then just get back onto the bandwagon when you get home. Like that is another option. You don't have to do anything that I tell you right now, but if you do want to kind of stay on track, these are some different tips and tricks. And it's all a spectrum, and you can choose the spectrum of like how much. Like I've had people recently go on a holiday and they stayed 95% on track, roughly tracked their calories, tried all the fun gyms that are around, stayed mostly on track. And then other people who have just been like, you know what, I'm just going to go enjoy myself, and I'll just get back to it when I get back. And it's like both totally fine. It's all a spectrum. But let's bust the biggest fear first. So, did you guys know that it takes 7,700 calories over your maintenance to gain 1 kilo of body fat? And most people's maintenance is like anywhere from 1,900 calories up to 2,500 calories. So, you got to eat that much first, and then another 7,700 calories to put on 1 kilo of body fat in one day. So, one croissant, one bowl of pasta at dinner, an extra glass of wine. like, or even a week on your holiday isn't going to ruin your life by any means, because it's not what you occasionally do, it's what you do most of the time that counts. So we just go, all right, well, what can we do? And so, yeah, it would take literally like 7 pints of Ben and Jerry's to put on a kilo body fat. So good luck. And I was looking at your face, Shannon, and I was like, you look so shocked. Yeah. Probably 80,000 would put on a couple of kilos too. I think it's actually I did a reel on it. It's like I think it's like 5 or 6 grilled burgers and chips like combo. And like it's around the 5 or 6 mark for like most of these kind of takeaway foods. Like on like in one go on top of your maintenance. So if you ate at maintenance and then let's say you then also had, so you hit your maintenance calories and then you added that on for seven, like had that on top of that for 7 days, then technically at the end of the week you would put on a kilo of body fat. If you ate a pint of Ben and Jerry's every single day for 7 days, plus you ate at maintenance every single day, theoretically that would be a kilo of body fat. So you can see how over an extended period of time it can stack up. But the point being, one particular day out, one restaurant meal, all that jazz, like that's not going to be a big issue. Like that's good. I know people get it so confused, and so I'm like, one meal out, it's totally fine. Don't stress. Just get back to it. It's all good. The key is just get back to it. It's all good. Um, And so like another mindset shift around this when you're traveling is like remember that you do run the show. Like you are in control and like you can still have the flexible dieting approach, but you can also do it with intention. Like no one's forcing you to have a dessert, no one's forcing you to have a cocktail. Like just because you're on holidays, just because it's an all you can eat buffet, just because it's all drinks included, it doesn't mean you have to do it either. Like you don't have to do it, but you can do it. And so I think that's what one thing is like people are like, oh, we're on holidays, let's get a cocktail. And if you're like, I actually really don't want one, it's like, then don't have one. It's totally fine. But there's some other things that you can do, such as, you can have a diet soda instead of normal soda. You can have veggies instead of chips, or share the desserts, share the chips. Like, have one indulgence per day. You don't have to have gelato at lunch, like you don't, and then have, cocktails dinner and have a like 5 course dinner and then also have like hot chips as a snack, and like you know what I mean, like you don't have to do all those things. If you can just go, look, I want to have a couple glasses of dinner and maybe we'll get some gelato, and like just leave it at that. Like I'm gonna have pretty good breakfasts and lunches. But I'm gonna give you some more specific strategies in just a tick as well. But some other like tips and tricks is like prioritize movement. It doesn't have to be the gym, but just movement in general. Steps are so underrated when you're traveling. Whenever you're having meals, like still try and focus on protein and fiber as much as you can. Fill the plate up with veggies, stuff like that. Lots of water, just so it doesn't affect your digestion. Because you're eating different foods, high fiber and lots of water can kind of help keep your tummy more regular, and that can limit bloating and feeling really uncomfortable as well. Um, don't go, I'm not going to eat all day so I can have a really big meal at dinner. It's like, no, still have stuff throughout the day consistently. It's the same principles as when you're at home. Like you don't skip meals. You don't skip meals while you're away. Loading up in like your hotel room with like easy snacks, like high protein yogurts, and yogurt gives you probiotics. So it's really good for your tummy as well. Protein shakes, pack protein bars, like you can have little things like that so that you can have like smaller meals, or like it just helps you to kind of balance out your day and give you a bit of normality as well. um so it's about consistency, not perfection, and one holiday won't ruin your progress. And so it's like I mentioned before, the issue is when ladies come back from holidays and they give up for the next 6 to 12 months. So zoom out, enjoy yourself, be intentional, then get back into your normal rhythm, and that's how confidence is built and maintained. Like if you go on a 2 week holiday, I should have done this maths before I started talking, but if you think about like a 2 week holiday, what's that? 2 divided by 52. That is 3.8% of a year. So a 2 week holiday of just doing whatever the hell you want is not even 5% of the year. Like, it's not even a big deal. It's still like you could have 2 weeks, 3 weeks of doing whatever the hell you want. You're still going to have 95% of the year on track. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world. So here's some different strategies. Strategy number one, just like I mentioned, the enjoy it, move on approach. Like, sometimes the best thing to do is just enjoy the trip, enjoy the moment, just live, laugh, love, whatever, enjoy yourself, whatever. The damage doesn't come from the food. It comes from the spiral afterwards when you feel guilty. When you feel guilty, you feel stressed. When you feel stressed, it affects your digestive system. You're going to feel bloated and blur. So, just have it, enjoy, move on, next meal, back to normal. Have the big pizza and the wine and the gelato and have a big, gorgeous Italian dinner. And then maybe for breakfast, have a really high protein, like chill, kind of healthier, like lighter breakfast. So you just don't feel as yucky in the tummy, but you're hitting your protein, you're hitting your fiber, you still feel good and you enjoyed yourself, whatever. We move on. So that's like one, is just do it, move on, no stress, don't worry about it. Number two is that you can have like the rough plan method. So if you like structure, you want to have you want to lightly know where you're going, but you don't want to obsess over it. So things that you can do is like you can check the menu in advance to give yourself a few ideas of what you might want to have. And then maybe you like kind of pre-plan your day around it. Like if you know that you're going to want to have like 5-course dinner, dessert, lots of big drinks and things, then maybe the meals for the rest of the day are going to be more protein and fiber heavy and less like carb and dietary fat heavy. So then you can allocate a little bit more wiggle room for that big meal that you're going to have later on. Like you can kind of just, not calorie wise, don't worry about it, but just be like, cool, I'm just going to have like egg whites, veggie omelet, of protein shake. I'm going to have a big chicken salad, maybe have some with some sourdough, and then, just keep it light calorie wise and then allocate it for dinner. Like that is another option. That's the benefit of maybe looking in advance at the menu. And also you get excited about what you're potentially going to have too. Protein first, like build your plate around protein, lean meat, seafood, eggs. If you're getting eggs, you could go, can I have some eggs and egg whites? Or a nice little life hack that I have done on traveling is if you want just egg whites, I know it's a bit wasteful, but when you've got goals, you just do it. You ask for boiled eggs because you can just remove yolk. Like it's really easy. You can't really remove the yolk otherwise. So I either get like if I have to get like fried eggs, I'll get fried eggs and I'll do that. And so then I can have eggs and egg whites. Like I combine normal eggs with egg whites as much as possible to just boost the protein content. Asking for grilled over fried food, putting sauces on the side so you can still enjoy them. But often salad dressings are like doused in it, like to the point where you feel like you've got lip gloss on your lips. There's so much oil in salad dressing sometimes. They just don't understand how to like portion it right, I feel like. Maybe I'm the only one, but I hate salad dressing in salad. I think it just ruins it. Swap chips for salad or veggies, or like share the indulgences, like get a pizza, get the chippies and share it amongst the table. So it's almost like you're having small taste testers of all the delicious things as opposed to like a whole thing of that, a whole thing of that, a whole thing of that. And this helps keep you just like in the ballpark of like not going wild, but still enjoying yourself. It gives you a bit of like, this is where I'm at. So that's another option. And then strategy 3, when my computer is, come on, there we go. Is if you really want to be tactical, you can do calorie banking and really like track the calories or not even track the calories of that meal, but you can really like pre-plan. So what you would do with calorie banking is slightly reduce the calories for a couple of days beforehand, ideally like 3 or 4 days, just to give you, so they're not having to do it quite so much. One day beforehand, you don't get as much because I don't want you guys to be like fully restricting yourself crazy silly. And how much you bank just depends on how big the event is. Is it a big event with alcohol and with food, or is it just food? Like that kind of thing. You can kind of bank a little bit differently. And all we do is pinch a little bit from our carbs and our fats, and we keep protein exactly the same. Or you can also bank a little bit during the day, like I mentioned before, having a lighter breakfast and lunch and save calories for dinner. So it's like, budgeting. That's pretty much what we're doing. We're just budgeting our weekly calories and shifting them around a little bit so that we're not coming into this event starving, hungry, go wild, overindulge. It's a bit more of a balance. Um, So here's an example. Let's give you an extra 500 calorie budget on top of your current meal plan for an event on Saturday, for example. So things to note: 1 gram of carbohydrates has 4 calories in it, and 1 gram of fats has 9 calories in it. So if we wanted to take out 500 calories, we could do it by all carbohydrates, which would be 500 divided by 4, which equals 125. Or you could do it as fats, which is 500 divided by 9, which is 56. Or you can do a combo of the two, like I mentioned here. And then you split that over a couple of days. So, for example, if we chose to reduce the carbs by 125 over 3 or 4 days before the night out, a banana, like a big banana, like one of the big medium-ish ones, has about 30 grams of carbs. So, like, if you had that in your meal plan and you just took that out for 4 days, technically, yeah, that's banking. Like, um, I would probably, that won't quite actually, that math was like not that ridiculous, but you'd probably want to do that for 5 days before. But anyways, it's about 100 calories in a banana, depending how big it is. But something like that, right? Like I probably wouldn't do it from our fruit per se, but say if you had bread, say if you had a snack where you were having rice cakes with peanut butter on it, and that snack was like 125 calories, then you're like, cool, you know what? I'm just gonna not have that snack because it's carbohydrates and dietary fats. It's not affecting my protein. I'm just not going to have that for 4 days. And boom, I've just shifted a lot of calories to that night out. And it's only for a couple of days. It's not going to make you crazy, starving, hungry. It's not going to be a huge impact. It's not something that we want to do all the time and rely on all the time, because then suddenly it's giving us a little bit of it's erring on the risk of binge restrict cycling. It's erring on the risk of really affecting your training performance during the week. So it's good for one-off events. It's not something that I would do all the time, every single time to that extent. You can do small amounts, but anyways, it's not a perfect science, but it is an effective strategy to help keep you in a calorie deficit for the week. Or even if you're in maintenance and you're going to have a big blowout of a meal and you want to go wild, it's also very beneficial. So, another technique while you are on holidays that you can do without tracking is using hand portions. So, you want to have, like, when you're having a serve of protein, you want it to be like the size of the palm of your hand. When you're looking at carbohydrates, like if you want like a carbohydrate serve, it's like, a cup in your hand. The thumb is like if you're having like avocado or like anything, you want like the serving of your thumb, and a full fist is like a good serve of veggies. So, if you wanted a balanced plate, you have one of each of these, and you've got a really nice fundamental starting point for a balanced plate. So you can kind of use your hands for measuring. And then if you wanted to track it, you could kind of go, right, that's about 100, 125 grams of protein. A full fist, you could say like that's like a cup of a mixed vegetables. Like you can start to roughly track with it, or at least just help you build out a plate as well. So this is another cool little trick. Precision nutrition this is their kind of style of nutrition tracking. I mean, there's a lot of room for error within it, but when you're on holidays, like it's a cool rule of thumb. So here's an example of a day in the life whilst enjoying your holiday. So you could wake up, drink your water, normal morning routine. We're moving our bodies, um, supplements, wash your face, all that jazz. Go move your body. The first thing you do in the morning, go get up, go move your body, whether it's a walk, quick little movement, yoga, hotel workout, go to the gym, whatever it is. Just wake up, start the day with some movement. Then go have a very high fiber and high protein breakfast. You can choose what meals you want to have as like your high healthy ones. You might want to go have a really fun, indulgent breakfast, but most days of your holiday, start it with a really banger breakfast. And if needed, pack your protein shake, set yourself up for the day, then go enjoy your day, do whatever you want. Pick one meal in your day to be just indulgent, whatever. And then the rest of the day, try and focus on protein, lots of fruit and veg, balanced plates, and lots of water. Walk around lots, explore lots, or go get a massage, do some relaxing, de-stressing activities because they are just as important. And if it's all inclusive, you don't have to make yourself silly, try and pace out the waters. And like most nights, try and go to bed at a reasonable hour, but also do just have fun. And bonus points if anyone can name where that is in my thing. Does anyone know where this photo was taken? It's so old. Where? Yes. Yes. Do we know what it is? Yeah, it is. I was hoping I had one of me doing that with the Eiffel Tower, but I couldn't find it, so I was like, it's just. But it's very young, Sammy. It's awesome. I can't wait to go back. My sister lives in France, so we were there for her wedding. Um, very long time ago. This was like 8, 9 years ago or something. That's why I look like a baby. Anyways, yeah, that was just my on holidays photo that I could find. Okay, so some quick FAQs and then I'm nearly finished. So, no, you do not have to follow any of what I just said. You can literally do whatever the hell you want. But the rule is you are not allowed to feel guilty for it. So if you want to go wild and just go and enjoy yourself, that is totally fine. Do not come back and be like, oh, I regretted it. I had the worst time. Like, just go enjoy yourself, come back, let's get back into it. Like, it's all good. Just embrace that decision and have fun. And another one, yes, because I get this question a lot. You can literally pack virtually anything on the plane ride over, just not liquids over 100 mils. And note almond butter and peanut butter, and also sometimes overnight oats and creamy rice, potentially, and cans of tuna above 100 grams actually does count. I nearly lost multiple of these things, but I just had a very nice security lady. But you can take full on meals. I have taken cooked chicken, pumpkin, and broccoli in a Ziploc bag. This was bodybuilding. I was prepping, and I will be doing it again this year when I go back to America to compete. I will be packing my meals in Ziploc bags of that kind of shit. Like, you can literally take whatever you want. You just can't take it off the plane. So, other times I've traveled, I've taken cans of tuna or cans of salmon. I'm just going to make sure that they're 95-gram ones. Fresh fruit, veggie sticks, like literally just normal. I just pack meals as normal for a whole entire day. Like, just literally take it on the plane. I have collapsible containers so that once I'm done, or you can put them in Chinese containers that you can just chuck out. You don't mind. You can make oats while you're on the plane, take rice cakes. You can literally take whatever you want on the plane. You just can't take it off the plane. So pack your food like that for what you want to take on. And then you can take any dry sort of stuff, just not like actual nuts, but like rice cakes, protein powder, any supplements. And like, I know a lot of people freak out about customs and stuff. I've literally done it in Ziploc bags. And I had a protein powder bag in a Ziploc bag, and they tested it, like, not tested it, but they had to scan it because they thought it was a bag of yogurt because I just had compressed it so much that it was like solid. So you can literally take anything. They just, worst case, they look at it and they're like, oh yeah, it's all good. Like, it's fine. So you can take all of that kind of stuff with you. And honestly, you name it, I've taken it. Like, it's totally fine. I've never had an issue ever. The only thing I've ever lost food wise at an airport is a jar of almond butter, because it was a big full on jar of almond butter. And I didn't realize that that was counted as a liquid. So now I know. And metal knives, obviously. So yeah, you can pack anything, and if you want a bit of normality, if you have someone with a funny tummy, it is helpful. But often you can buy stuff over there too, so that's all good. I've found supplement stores while traveling because I ran out of stuff, and I just went and bought a box of like a bag of protein powder while I'm overseas as well. So you can do any of that kind of stuff. It's all good. And it's also really fun to explore, like go to different gyms. Like, you'll find some really fun gyms with cool old school bodybuilding style stuff. Like, that's my favorite thing to do. You can go and do different classes. Like, when I was in Paris, I did yoga classes that were only spoken in French, and my French is horrendous, and I felt like I did all right. So you can definitely just go in and, like, you see it as an opportunity to try different activities, try different types of exercise, go bike riding, tennis, basketball, kayaking, like any sort of random activity to keep yourself moving that makes you feel amazing. Like, move your body every day, walk everywhere, like, but make it fun as well. I love trying out new gyms. Like, that's like my favorite thing to do. But with that being said, do we have any questions? I'm gonna jump back to the floor.